I will never look at conflict the same way after learning this. Hello and welcome. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that's central to every single relationship conflict. It's not about avoiding disagreements. It's about navigating them with grace and understanding to emerge stronger as a couple. Conflict is inevitable in any relationship, but it shouldn't be feared. In fact, handled well, conflict can be an opportunity for growth, deeper intimacy, and a more profound connection. If you find this content helpful, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more insights on building stronger relationships. Let's equip you with the tools to build a love that thrives on authenticity and connection, even amidst life's inevitable challenges. In the heat of an argument, it's easy to get caught up in our own thoughts and feelings. True conflict resolution requires genuine listening. Active listening is about truly absorbing your partner's message, both verbally and non-verbally. Pay attention to their tone, body language, and emotions. Resist the urge to interrupt or offer solutions. Reflect back what you hear to ensure understanding. Practicing active listening shows respect and creates a safe space for understanding. One of the quickest ways to escalate a conflict is by using you statements that sound accusatory or blaming. Phrases like, "you always," or "you never" immediately put your partner on the defensive, making it nearly impossible to have a productive conversation. The alternative: I statements. This powerful communication technique allows you to express your feelings and needs in a way that is less likely to trigger defensiveness. Instead of saying, "you're always late," try, "I feel hurt and disrespected when you're late for our plans." Notice the difference. The first statement attacks your partner's character, while the second focuses on your own emotional experience. By owning your emotions and expressing them clearly and respectfully, you create a safer space for vulnerability and connection. We all know that feeling. Your heart races, your palms sweat, and suddenly you're in fight or flight mode. When arguments trigger this physiological stress response, it's nearly impossible to think clearly, communicate effectively, or make rational decisions. That's why staying calm and composed is absolutely crucial during disagreements. Recognize the physical signs of stress in your body, and when you feel them arising, take a step back from the conversation. Go for a walk, practice deep breathing, or simply agree to revisit the discussion later when you've had a chance to cool down. Remember, taking a break is not about avoiding the issue. It's about giving yourselves the space to approach it with calmer minds and hearts. Imagine this. You're upset because your partner forgot to pick up groceries, and suddenly the conversation spirals into past grievances. The key is to shift focus from blame to solutions. Try saying, "I was really counting on those groceries. Can we figure out a system to avoid this happening again?" Remember, you're on the same team. Even in heated disagreements, there are areas of common ground. Shared values and goals serve as a vital bridge, reminding you that you're working towards the same destination. Identifying these areas can shift the tone of a conflict, reduce defensiveness, and rebuild connection. It paves the way for a collaborative approach to problem solving. Finding common ground leads to win-win solutions. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. It's about stepping outside of your own perspective and truly trying to see the world through your partner's eyes. In the context of conflict, empathy is not about agreeing with your partner, but rather about validating their experience and acknowledging the validity of their emotions. When you make an effort to understand your partner's perspective, even if you don't agree with it, you create a deeper level of connection and trust. It shows them that you respect their feelings and that you're willing to meet them where they are. By approaching conflict with empathy, you create a more compassionate and understanding environment where both partners feel heard and valued. Imagine a basketball game without rules, chaos. The same goes for relationships. While we don't often think about setting rules for arguments, establishing clear, agreed-upon guidelines can be incredibly helpful in navigating conflict constructively. These ground rules act as a safety net, preventing disagreements from escalating into hurtful territory. Start by discussing what respectful communication looks like to each of you. Perhaps it's agreeing to avoid name-calling, to take breaks when things get heated, or to focus on using I statements. Remember, these ground rules are not about restricting your communication. They're about creating a safe and respectful space for open and honest dialogue. When conflict arises, it's easy to fall into the trap of me versus you. However, this creates further division. Remember, you are partners, not opponents. Shifting to a we mentality is essential. Approach conflict as a team, working collaboratively. Encourage open communication without judgment. Find solutions that strengthen your bond. Apologies and forgiveness are the cornerstones of healing and growth within a relationship. They allow us to acknowledge hurt, take responsibility for our actions, and move forward with greater understanding and compassion. A genuine apology requires humility and a willingness to own our mistakes. It's not about simply saying "I'm sorry," but about truly understanding the impact of our actions and expressing remorse for the pain we've caused. Forgiveness, on the other hand, is a process, a conscious decision to release resentment and offer compassion, both to our partner and ourselves. It allows us to move forward, to rebuild trust, and to create a stronger foundation for our relationship. Remember what we said about keeping your cool? Sometimes the best way to do that is to step away for a bit. That's where the power of the timeout comes in. It's about giving yourself space to cool down and gather your thoughts. Return to the conversation when you're both calmer and ready for constructive dialogue. Just as we seek professional help for our physical health, there should be no shame in seeking support for our emotional and relational well-being. In fact, couples therapy can be an incredibly valuable resource for navigating challenges, improving communication, and strengthening your bond. Therapy provides a safe and supportive space to explore difficult emotions, unpack unhealthy patterns, and develop healthier ways of relating to one another. If you're struggling to resolve conflicts on your own, consider reaching out to a qualified couples therapist. Think of it like going to the doctor for a checkup, but for your relationship. Regular check-ins are a proactive approach to maintaining a healthy and thriving partnership. These dedicated times for open communication allow you to address issues before they escalate into major conflicts. Schedule regular time, perhaps once a week or once a month, to connect with your partner in a distraction-free environment. Even just 15 to 20 minutes of dedicated conversation can make a world of difference in fostering intimacy and maintaining a strong connection. Respect forms the very foundation of a healthy and loving relationship. It's about valuing your partner, honoring their feelings, and treating them with kindness and consideration, even, and perhaps especially, during disagreements. Remember, disagreements don't have to turn into battles. It's entirely possible to disagree with your partner while still maintaining a deep sense of respect for them as an individual. Even when you don't see eye to eye, approach the conversation with the understanding that your partner's feelings are valid and deserve to be heard. We often approach conflict with the goal of changing our partner's mind, of convincing them to see things our way. But what if sometimes the most loving and liberating act is simply to agree to disagree? There will be times when, despite your best efforts to understand and compromise, you and your partner simply won't see eye to eye. And that's okay. Not every disagreement needs to be solved or debated into the ground. Learning to accept your differences, to embrace the beauty of two unique perspectives coexisting, can be incredibly freeing. Conflicts are rarely resolved in a single conversation. They often require ongoing dialogue, reflection, and adjustments along the way. That's why following up after a disagreement is essential for ensuring that issues are truly resolved and that resentments don't linger beneath the surface. A few days or a week after a conflict, take some time to check in with your partner. This follow-up doesn't have to be a formal sit-down discussion. It could be as simple as saying, "Hey, how are you feeling about everything we talked about the other day?" We've covered a lot of ground today, from the importance of active listening and empathy to the power of setting ground rules and seeking professional help when needed. Remember, these 15 techniques are not a one-time fix, but rather tools to be practiced, refined, and woven into the fabric of your relationship. The journey of love is an ongoing dance of connection and repair, and by embracing these tools, you're choosing to build a relationship that can weather any storm. Because ultimately, the most beautiful relationships are not those without conflict, but those that emerge from disagreements stronger, more connected, and deeply in love.